Hello, today I am presenting the topic memory, which is the second module in the basic themes of psychology, the core course in the second semester BSc Psychology, University of Calicut. So I am hereby attach the slides and explanations. So we can start with the basic concepts of memory and the processes involved in memory. Memory is simply the recollection of the past information or the stored information. It is also a cognitive process. Cognition is the higher mental process by which we process information. Information simply means the sensory input from the environment. We receive the information from the environment through our sensory organs, and then that should be transformed to the neural language. Then that should be reduced. That means there are so many information in front of us, but we process only limited number of information or the information to which we are attended. So then that are elaborated. Elaborated means on the basis of our previous experiences, or we connect the present information to the previous information, etc. Then we use that information by recovering or recollecting the information. So in that sense, memory is also a cognitive process. So it is an important higher mental process by which we process information from the environment and then we use it when we want that information. Okay. Next is information processing model introduced by Richard Atkinson and Richard Schifrin in 1968. This model is also known as Atkinson-Schifrin stage model because it explains memory as stage processes. So there are three important storehouses in memory or stage processes. First one is sensory register or sensory memory. Second, short-term register or short-term memory. And the third is long-term register or long-term memory. So just imagine yourself as a computer that takes information in and process that information in steps or stages and then produces an output. Just like that, memory has also stage processes. The first storehouse in memory is sensory memory. So the memory starts with the sensory input from the environment. So it can be stored for very brief period of time, 1 to 5 seconds. Sensory memory lasts only for 1 to 5 seconds. So it's associated with all the sensory channels because all the sensory information received through the sensory organ can be stored for a few seconds. That is known as sensory memory. If we rehearse that material or if we attend that information, that can be passed on to the second stage of memory, which is short-term memory, where it can be stored for 20 to 30 seconds. It's also short, but better than sensory memory. Rehearsed information from the short-term memory can be passed on to the third stage or third storehouse, which is long-term memory. And the information which are not processed correctly usually will lost or forgotten. So when items of information are placed in the long-term store, they are put into organized structures, not individually but organized categories where they reside for days, months or even full lifetime of an individual. So long-term memory is the third storehouse and it can store information for a long period of time. Sensory register or sensory memory is associated with all the sensory channels. So there are different kinds of sensory memories. Sensory memory of visual information is known as iconic memory, and the term iconic is a Greek word means likeness. It is exactly the copy of the image we have sensed, and it can store 11 to 16 visual information at a time. And the second is echoic memory. It is a sensory memory of auditory information. Its precision is also very high. Sensory memory storage time is only seconds, but the storage capacity is high and the precision is also very high. It is just like the exact replica of what we have sensed or experienced. That is the speciality of sensory memory. The time is very brief, only 1 to 5 seconds, but precision is very high. Next is the short-term memory. It can hold information up to 30 seconds. It receives sensory information from the sensory register or sensory memory. Its storage capacity is limited. It can store only 7 items plus or minus 2 at a time. We can improve storage capacity by the method of chunking. Chunk is the Greek word, means group. So by the method of grouping or chunking, we can improve storage capacity of short-term memory. Because the single items can be grouped into 7, and then we can store 7 groups at a time in short-term memory. Then if 8th item will comes to the short-term memory, then the first item will be deleted or cancelled. So displacement of old information by the incoming information happens in short-term memory. The amount of rehearsal is important to transfer the information from the short-term memory to the long-term memory. Sheer amount of rehearsal may be less important than the ways in which rehearsal is done. That means there are two types of rehearsal: repeating the information again and again, or maintaining the rehearsal, which is known as maintenance rehearsal. And second is elaborative rehearsal. Elaborative rehearsal means the rehearsal or repetition of the sensed information by understanding the meaning or connecting it to the previous information. So the elaborative rehearsal is better to transfer the information from short-term memory to long-term memory. Maintenance rehearsal or sheer rehearsal will not be effective to transfer information from STM to LTM. Next is long-term memory. It can last for days, months, years, or a lifetime. And the capacity of the long-term memory is very huge and has no known limit. The information in the long-term store is mostly about the meaning of words, sentences, ideas, concepts, and the life experiences we have had. There are actually two types of long-term memory: semantic memory and episodic memory. Semantic the word refers to meaning, and it is memory of the meaning of words, concepts, rules for using them in language, etc. Episodic memory means the memory of personal events or personal experiences or reminiscences of an individual. Then again, this semantic memory divided into two: declarative and non-declarative memory. Declarative memory means the memory of meaning or meaning of words, concepts, etc. And non-declarative memory is also known as procedural memory. It is a memory of the procedure or how to do things, or how to complete a work, how to do a particular repairing work, etc. Then the episodic memory again divided into autobiographical memory and flashbulb memory. Autobiographical memory means memory of the previous experiences or personal experiences. Then flashbulb memory means if we see a particular reminder cue or photograph, then all the information related to that comes spontaneously to the mind, just like a flashlight. That is flashbulb memory. So these are the important storehouses in memory: sensory memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. So today's class discussed on basic concepts of memory, the processes involved in memory, different stages of storehouses in memory, then sensory memory, short-term memory, long-term memory, etc. So you have to learn these topics. Then I will continue with the next session on the next day. Thank you.